This video is sponsored by BigMarleyMMA.com. Kyle Marley is up over 250 units in the last 2+ years on his premium bets. Go to BigMarleyMMA.com and use the coupon code PROSPICKS at checkout. That will get you 10% off his weekly packages.
I mean, how do you not root for Holly Holm still in the game? Legend. I mean, want to see her just get back to her winning ways.
Honestly, I haven't really broken down Aldana yet to really – she's still relatively new to me. I have seen her fight. But it's one of those fights that, sometimes you get up and you go grab your drink and then, if you're not, so I don't get to watch the entire thing to really see where her strong suits are. But from what I remember, she's a pretty tough striker. Holm is good. She's got good boxing. She likes to kick and she likes to make the little sound effects that she does all the time. But former champion, if I did have to pick somebody, I would say Holly Holm still got the goods.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Irene. Holly is very tough. I think I'm going to say a decision, a split decision. I'm going to go split.
Aldana. Yeah, I think she's going to take it. Irene, I think, is so talented. I think she's always just right under the radar in the sense of being like one of the top contenders. You watch her fight, she's very technical. I've become a fan since she's been with the UFC. I actually didn't know her prior to that. Holly Holmes is always a staple though, man. She comes in and it can be a knockout. It could be, but she's ready to throw. So those are the type of fights that I like to watch. I like any other fight that, you see a lot of technique and it's been coming, you see the fights just on Wednesday, how technical these fighters are getting. It's like the quarantine has upped a lot of people's skill levels in the sense of like maybe getting not better fight IQ, but you see these fighters that are fighting really intelligent, really smart fights versus brawlers. And, I like a good brawl too, don't get me wrong, but I like to see the level of technique. And I think it's really been showing, especially in these last couple fights on Fight Island.
Yeah, Aldana has that nice knockout she came off, and you don't see that a lot in the women's fights, but Holly Holm's a good striker as well, so I think that fight will primarily take place on the feet, and it's really who tags up who first. I think Holly Holm's a hard girl to fight with her movement and her kickboxing background and stuff like that, so it might be hard to touch her up if I'm Aldana, but Aldana has a pretty good reach. I think I'm going to go Holly Holm, though. I think she'll get the decision. I think she'll outpoint her.
Gotta go with the vet, Holly Holm.
I'm going to have to go with the mainstay of the division, Holly. I was seeing what Holly can do. I was, at her best. I view her as number one besides Amanda at that weight class. So anyone besides Amanda, I'm picking Holly.
I know Holly Holm's a good fighter, so I'm going to go with who I know, probably Holly Holm in that fight.
I'm really, really excited for that one. I really have a hard time counting Irene out. I mean, her striking is so good. She's so crisp, and just seeing her get better and better with every fight. I feel like every fight you see her, she's almost twice as good as she was before. So I want to give her the edge, and I would like to see her fight for the title, but I'm a Holly fan. I mean, that's one of those hard fights where you're like, I like both girls, and either one wins, but I do give the edge to Irene a little bit.
That one I'm really excited about. Holly's you can never count her out. I have a lot of respect for her skills and also her team and the game planning that they have, but I feel like Irene kind of, she's kind of like the fresh meat that I really, even though she's been around for longer than me on the pro scene, I've seen her come up in Invicta. I really like her, her demeanor, her style. So I kind of pushing for I don't know if she's the underdog, but I feel like she would be with Holly's name, I'd be, always kind of pushing for the underdog.
I don't know too much about Irene, so I would just go with Holly Holm.
Holly. I could see Irene doing it. I got to go Holly.
I'm a fan of Irene, so I'll always unless she was fighting me, I'll always pull for Irene. I think she's amazing. I remember fighting on Invicta with her and watching her come up through those ranks, and I think she's fucking incredible, man. I think Holly has a really great skill set, but I've been consistently annoyed by how many huge opportunities she keeps getting coming off losses, and I feel like Irene's been working really hard and she deserves to have those opportunities.
Yeah, super interesting. Holly's movement is super good. Like, obviously, she's a great boxer. She's got really, really good footwork. But Aldana's tall and Aldana's long too. So I think she'll be able to negate some of Holly's reach. And I would guess that Aldana probably has a pretty good ground game. So if she can get Holly to the ground and maybe just get on top, I think that'll be good. But and I would honestly give a power advantage to Aldana as well. So barring a head kick. Like, as long as it's kicked in the head. But I'll go with Aldana on that. Aldana's just so fresh and young and so hungry, and she's really on a good streak right now. Didn't she just knock out Ketlin Vieira? Was that right? Big favorite? Yeah, for sure. So I'll go with Aldana on that. I don't know if she can finish Holly, but I think she can get a decision, maybe mixing up her boxing with her takedowns.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not familiar with Irene. I do know that Holly has been sharpening and refining everything, and she hasn't had some of the limitations as far as like where she can train. So I imagine that she's gonna be really prepared for the fight, come out, put on a good show, and like most fighters on that professional level that hold themselves at standard, they're always looking to evolve and to grow more. So I imagine she's gonna offer more in the ground, not just in her striking department.
That's interesting because Holly Holm, she's been up there, she's experienced, but Irene, she's been looking good. She's good, so I'm gonna pull for her. I think she can get the.
Oh my God, it is an interesting match because both of them do a lot of, their footwork is very elusive. They have both the boxing skills. I do believe, it could be part of Holly's camp, seeing what she did with Raquel, putting her up against the cage to try to dominate her there. I think that's going to be an exciting fight. But, you put Irene on her back, and she's very crafty with her submissions. You can't sleep on that. So I think I'm going to pull for Aldana on this one.
I don't know a ton of Irene. I know that she's pretty well-rounded. She's tough. Mm-hmm. I know more about Holly, and I know that her work ethic, same thing. Like these people go out and work hard. I think it'll be more of like an involvement kind of fight, to see if Holly's continued to evolve or if she's just, toughed it out and trained hard and just continued to do more of the same. I feel like her and her camp and her team, they're always looking to evolve. So, we could see a better Holly, or we could see the same Holly and we could see a new Irene Aldana come in and be, the more like newer technical fighter. So I'm excited to watch it for sure. I always love watching the women's fights, especially when I have previous training with them.
I see Holly winning. I think Holly is just a dominant fighter. I've thought that for her whole career. I think that she's really, really wanting to get another shot at the belt. So I think that her mindset is like belt, belt, belt. I think she just sees this person as a, obstacle in the way of that. And I think that she's going to run through her.
Yeah, Aldana's really good. She has power, obviously. I think Holly's just a more seasoned fighter. I feel like if it starts getting tough on the feet or if she gets hit, I think she'll just grab onto her. And yeah, I think it'll be a win for Holly.
I do see a big chance for Aldana winning, but somehow I still think that Holm will win a decision. I do, because and then I look at fights that Aldana have done. She lost a really close fight to Pennington. Pennington looked amazing in that fight, and then she was about to lose to Betch before she finished her. If you look at the rounds, I do feel that Holly is smarter in a fight. She doesn't take that much damage. But when I see Aldana fight, I feel that she takes a lot of damage. Not in a Vieira fight because it was so short. But I'm just looking at it tactically. I think Holly will take the decision.
I think Holly Holm. I think she's just those kicks, man. And I know the other chick is very, very, very tough as well. But I just think Holly is looking for another win.
Holly. I'm always team Holly, no matter what. She's such a nice lady.
Yeah, I was excited for that. It was going to be August, I guess. And I think Aldana got the virus, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and I was excited for that. I think it's a great matchup, Both of them are very tall. They're very big girls. And potentially in the future, I can get that as well, that fight with either or both. It doesn't matter. But I get this fight going a lot in striking. You know, I don't see. Well, last fight, Holly Holm, I remember she kind of played a little bit more against the cage and stuff. But I think it was more the strategy that she was having. But potentially a lot of striking. Both of them are really good. Well, kickers. Aldana has a really good boxing, so I think this fight is gonna have a spectacular boxing over here and spectacular striking to see. So, yeah, I don't. You know, I don't have a guess of who can get this, but I'm cheering for Aldana.
Ooh, I don't know. I say really close decision. They're both super talented strikers. I like Aldana's boxing and striking for MMA, so I say she wins a decision.
I don't know anything about her, so I guess I'll say Holly Holm. Thanks for watching this video, sponsored by BigMarleyMMA.com. Kyle Marley is up over 250 units in the last 2+ years on his premium bets. Go to BigMarleyMMA.com and use the coupon code PROSPICS at checkout. That will get you 10% off his weekly packages.